welcome back to another video of Carl's Garage. Today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about this thing right here. This is, let's put it like this so you can see it. This is my cylinder 8. So I don't know if you guys know from the last video, I drove all the way to Iowa and back, and on the way up there I was having a bunch of multiple cylinder misfires, and then I ended up changing out all the coil packs because on the way, whenever I first bought the truck, I had a cylinder 8 misfire. Changed out that coil pack, the truck drove fine 4 miles. I'm talking about, I drove it home from Oklahoma to Houston, 7-hour drive, changed the coil pack. The truck drove back and forth to Dallas from Houston, which was a 4-hour ride, a bunch of times. I drove it all the way to Orlando and back and forth to Dallas. Once I got back from Orlando, no problems. Drove it all the way to Arkansas. That's when all the other cylinders started to mess up. So I'm thinking it's just the coil packs. So as you can see, I changed out all the coil packs. Go check out that video. Carl's Garage, changed out all 8 coil packs, or all 7, because this one was new. The one back there. But the whole time, ever since I bought the truck, I've always noticed the smell. And it wasn't a catalytic converter smell, it was like an exhaust leak smell. Because I thought it was a coolant, but my coolant is always good. Every now and then it goes down a little bit. It does use a little bit of coolant, I'm sure, wherever that's going or whatever. But I never really smell that smell. I always smell exhaust leak, exhaust. And then there's a small little crack in the exhaust over there, but nothing major. But if you park near somebody or whatever, and you get out, you can smell it a little bit. But I didn't think that would cause too many issues. After I changed all 7 coil packs, I still got cylinder 8 misfire. So I drove it, I just got back 16 hours from Iowa to Houston, Texas, and cylinder 8, I'm still getting the code again, but it drove home. My wife drove the truck all the way home. When I drove my Camry that I got over there for $2,000, stay tuned for that video, I got that Camry for $2,000. So then I just get down in here and pull the wire, and this is what it looks like. So I called my best friend Mike, who's like a master mechanic, and he knows these engines in and out. He's actually the person who inspired me to actually buy one. He has the Escalade, but he has a 6.2, but again, it's still an LT, and he knows about all these 5.3s and 6.2s. So when I pulled this out, sent him a picture, he's like, yeah, it sounds like you got an exhaust leak. It's leaking onto the spark plug wire, and luckily you got that metal cap over it. So up in Arkansas or Illinois, Proactive, and I already got these plugs, wires, and I already got the wires, AC Delco, GM, or these are GM, and then these are AC Delco for the spark plugs. Got all 8. So I'm prepared, because these usually break, and I don't even know if, I haven't even actually got a chance to look down in there to see if the little piece is still on the end of the spark plug, because sometimes that happens. So I would never recommend you going to change 1 or 2 spark plugs unless you have the backup wires locked and loaded, because these wires love to break. They love to break. So I've also always noticed a slight rough idle. And you guys seen the video where I brought it to Bonnie. If you haven't, go check out that video. He's like, yeah, these things, they run smooth, but they always have like a little bit of an idle. I asked him, did he smell anything? He said he never did. I have a very acute sense of smell, so I've still smelled it. But again, the truck drove fine. Like, it just drove fine there. He scanned it with the scan tool, 0 issues with idling, with injectors, nothing. So I take this off, and this right here, usually sometimes, especially whenever you see this looks like oil, right? Valve cover, but I don't see any leakage anywhere. I mean, we didn't see a little bit right there. And I'm sure that these things could use valve covers. I'm sure it could, especially back there, but I think most of that is from the exhaust leak. So I'm gonna look, my guy Mike is looking to get me a quote on an exhaust manifold, because the bolts on these love to break. Boy, do they love to break. So I already told him, look, just find me an exhaust shop here in Houston, and this side actually looks like it might be done. See, it's not as bad. This side is just a little oil right there, or dirt and grime right there. But again, if there's an exhaust leak, it's just gonna just leave soot, a lot of soot and nastiness. So I'd rather them just do both sides, new gaskets on the exhaust, and then this thing, then she's finally done. She'll have new coils, new wires, new plugs, new exhaust manifold, I only use the top quality oil. I change the oil every 2,000 to 3,000 miles. I even got more oil right here. So I already changed this. I've changed this oil 3 times in the last 6,000 to 7,000 miles. Got more oil right there. And then luckily, the truck and the Toyota both take the same 0W20. I've actually been running 5W30 in the truck because it is over 200,000 miles, and the tolerances on oil, because 0W20 is super thin, but you know, when the motor's brand new at 0 miles, the tolerance is okay for 0W20, but 230,000 miles basically on the truck, 229, I went up in weight on the oil because the first letter is for the cold. It don't get cold here in Texas. The second letter is the viscosity. So I want a good thick oil in here. Restore and Protect is the only oil that I use to keep those pistons and everything clean, and the lifters too. So I shouldn't run into any lifter issues because I change the oil more frequently than anybody recommends by far. I don't get the 5,000 miles. I get the 3,000 max. It was 1,000 to Iowa and 1,000 back, and I changed it brand new the day before I left. So the day before I left, I changed it. The truck sat, woke up, drove it to Iowa, drove it back from Iowa, changing the oil again. So still under 3,000 at max, right at 3,000 miles. As long as you do that with a super high quality oil, you're not going to have any problems with these motors, especially as long as you've been taking care of them like the entire time. Now, the guy that I bought it from, it obviously made it to 217,000 miles because that's when I bought the truck. But my job is to make it last to at least 300, 350, 400,000 miles, which these things are definitely capable of doing. It just takes, you know, staying on top of your maintenance, staying on top of things like this, exhaust manifolds, spark plugs, because you don't want to keep stressing the engine. So I'm almost done. Basically, all this is really that I'm doing is just a major tune-up. Like I said, I've already had it gone through. I might get maybe there's like a small little tiny leak at the rear axle. I might get that done. Transmission fluid is still still red, so I might get that done here and maybe next year sometime. That's good. You want to do that every 30,000 to 60,000 miles, just depending on how frequent you want to keep it. You know, because the transmissions can go bad in these, but my transmission is smooth. But again, I already had it checked out by a professional. They checked it. The color's still good. But me personally, because this is our family vehicle, this is the money that you got to spend. But on a $10,000 vehicle, I got that for 2. I got this for 10. It's cheap, right? 12 grand. Where are you going to get 2 vehicles that literally can drive? That drove from Iowa like it was nothing. This drove to Iowa and back like it was nothing. It's gonna be, you know what I mean? That car right there could probably drive to Iowa. We know the Lexus can drive that far. It's just not a lot of vehicles that you can do that can take you wherever you want for that cheap. So stay tuned for the next video. I just want to make this video for you guys about this plug. I'm gonna go ahead and swap them out. And yeah, you know what? Let's skip the next video. Let me go ahead and start swapping these out. Mike suggested that I go ahead and do that. Just continue doing what I was doing, swapping everything out. Again, it's very easy. I mean, it's not that difficult as long as you have the right tools. So let me show you guys the right tools real quick. So you definitely need your plugs and wires. I'll put a link in the description down below. I use this right here in the back, and I got a step stool. And I'm 6'4", so it's kind of hard, but I did climb on top of the whole motor, stick my hand down in there, and pop this off. Now I just need to see if sometimes there's like a little piece that hangs onto the end of the spark plug. Then I got me a flexible, I got this from Walmart for about $25 right now, a flexible 3/8 ratchet, and it's long too. This one's pretty long, so stick it down in there, get that spark plug out, and then you don't have to go through the wheel well. Oh, there's my wife in the Honda Accord right there. Let me go ahead and get her up. So let me go ahead and then get this spark plug out. Again, it's not that difficult. You do not need to go through the wheel well. Just get the right tools, spend the money on the right tools, and just be careful. Do not do this job unless you already have plugs and wires. I forgot. I did get this too. I got this, so this swivels, and then we also got the flex of this. So I should have no problem getting this number 8 spark plug out. Remember, on the left side is 2468, on the right side is 1357. All right, guys, so as you can see, And there's all this Oklahoma red dirt everywhere. That's where I bought this truck from. But I had to do it. I had to get in here because I guess I'm just too big or something. I can't get in there to get the damn number 8. You can see the spark, the socket. I don't know if you can see it. The camera can see it, but it's still on there. It got stuck. Socket got stuck on there on number 8. Yeah, there you go. You can see it right there. So this wasn't that bad at all. This was super easy to take off. I just jacked it up and then used a little T15 and took off all these little torque things. And you see, I only did it halfway. I didn't even do the whole thing. So I got halfway, boom, folded it back. And then now I could just get to all of them, knock them all out, do them super easy, use an extension, get them out of there. And then, I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, could do the exhaust manifold from here. I'm not going to. I'm going to take it to a professional shop. I don't feel like getting in here. It looks like rust, but it's really not. But I'm gonna let them handle all that. I'm gonna let them handle all that right there. But yeah, so those guys handle all that. The exhaust leak was causing cylinder 8 to go out, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock out all these. I do recommend doing it like this. I know in the beginning I was like, no, you don't have to, no, you don't have to. Bro, just jack up your truck, take your damn wheel off, take out about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. If you're using an impact or an electric tool, it takes 10 seconds to get all these out. Fold it back, get in here and pop it out. It's super easy versus struggling from the top. And again, maybe you're smaller than me, or I don't know, I'm 280, 6'4", so it was hell and high water getting in here from the top. So I'm gonna go ahead, get my ratchet in there now, get this thing out of there, and get done. Okay, so this is number 8. This is number 8. This is the extension that I used, and I had to use the bar from the top of my jack to get some leverage. So I hit up my friend Mike, because I just wanna zoom in on that, make sure, because usually whenever you see a fouled out plug like that, it means valve covers, which isn't bad, you know. It is a 220,000, 30,000 mile truck, so valve covers could be due soon, but I just wanted to show you guys. So I got this one out. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the new one in. It was a bitch getting out, so I know it's gonna be tough getting in, because I'm really not gonna be able to feel it. I might have to put this extension here and twist it with my hand, because you only want to do it by hand, and then even torquing this thing is going to be a bitch. So I'm just going to have to do it by hand, quarter turn, call it a day. All right, guys, so I just want to show you something. Yeah, this thing is tough, but as you guys can see, I'm about to show you guys the big issue with the car. It's kind of dark in here. So as you can see right there, it's wet, because that's the cylinder 8, and it's leaking. The valve cover is leaking right above it. Fresh oil too. So I just put in fresh oil, like I said, less than 2,000 miles ago. And right there, that's where it's leaking. So that's a valve cover all day. So this job just got a little bigger, because and again, maybe it wasn't even an exhaust leak. Maybe it's just the valve cover leaking, and I'm smelling that burn on the exhaust. The exhaust could still be good. I mean, while you're in here, might as well do the whole thing, right? It is a 200 and something thousand mile vehicle, so probably, and again, that could be what's leaking all over there, because there's a little bit of oil over there. And I do check the oil all the time, but guarantee you that's what it is. So this thing needs valve cover gaskets, exhaust manifolds, new spark plugs, new wires. It's already got new coils, and then she's ready to go. Even in my new Toyota, got to do the valve cover gaskets. In this, I had to do the valve cover gaskets. So it's probably a bigger job here in the truck. I don't know if I'm gonna do it myself or if I'm gonna have somebody just come to the house and knock it out. I gotta get some quotes on some prices, but yep, so that's really gonna end it for this video. I do have number 8 spark plug ready to go back, but I don't wanna drive it too much, because I don't wanna keep fouling out cylinder 8, because that seems to be the biggest one that goes out. Everything else is pretty dry, but I guess what's happening, if there is an exhaust leak and there's a valve cover leak and the oil is just everywhere, leaking on cylinder 8, fouling it out the whole time. So yeah, everything else looks dry. Yep, all the other plugs looks dry. So got to do a valve cover for cylinder, got to do a valve cover for just one cylinder, and probably the exhaust manifold too. I don't know, we'll see. I might just change just the valve covers. Leave a comment down below if I should just change just the valve covers, leave the exhaust manifold alone, or while I'm in there, if I already got the valve covers off, go ahead and do the exhaust manifold. So Mike's breaking it down to me. Everything about this. Everything about this.
Yeah, nah, this is what it is. It's common. These LSs, they're so easy to bust down. You can bust them down with...
It don't seem that easy to bust down.
No,
because they put shit in such weird areas. You know what I'm saying?
Once
like
you...
the Hondas seem, and those cars seem super easy. This shit...
I like these more than the Hondas.
Why? Just because it's big? And...
Just because I have experience with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just because I've done it so long. We became accustomed to it. You can take everything apart with a 7, an 8, a 10, a 13, and a 15. That's all you need.
But you need like 10 swivels.
Nah, this is just this one case scenario.
Like that's the biggest thing that I hate is when they make one area so difficult.
Yeah, it's tight against the car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That spark plug, that bolt right there. It's like, god damn.
I think I put too much tape on this ratchet. But with the right tools, it makes the job so much easier.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I be jumping into shit. And I don't know. Damn, it must have been an accident. Hopefully chilling them all right.
I don't like this swivel. And I don't want to put too much pressure against this heater hose right here.
Oh, okay.
They're prone to breaking. These right here.
What?
These heater hoses.
Oh, really?
They're prone to breaking. I don't like this ratchet.
Yeah, I know, it's cheap.
It's just bulky. And it has to move too much before it clicks. The tooth count is pretty high.
All right, so the truth is, in order to get this shit done, you need a homie who knows what the fuck he's doing. Excuse my language, YouTube. Who knows what the hell he's doing? Because there ain't no way in hell I would have been able to do this. He's already got it in cylinder 8, and he got the bolt off the top of the valve cover. So, yeah, this, if you're not experienced, don't even try this shit. Go have a shop do it or get a homeboy or a friend or something, because there's no way.
No way.
She really did. He did both in 2 seconds. This shit did it. I've been doing this shit since daylight.
It's a long thread on the spark plug.
Is it?
Yeah. Or maybe I ain't done it in a while.
God damn.
I don't want to be in here ratcheting. So that's why I just want to put it as tight as possible by hand. Yep. And that way you only got to do a couple ratchets.
And then that's it? You don't got to extra torque it and do all that other... Let me hit it. Which one you need?
I don't know. What you got?
Okay.
Tools. That's what's concerning.
Oh, okay. Well, I got this, and I got a flex head right there, the one I just bought.
That was cool. Hyper tough.
Listen, unless somebody tells me what I need, I just buy what people say on YouTube.
Big ratchets like this, you don't want to do it for spark plugs because it's so long,
yeah,
you'll actually over tighten it. You know?
Oh, okay.
That's why when doing spark plugs and smaller bolts, more sensitive things, you use a smaller ratchet. That way you can kind of grip it by hand and you can feel the amount of pressure putting on this.
Okay.
But because this is so long, with that length, you can try to put the same pressure and it's gonna like snap or over tighten. Or, you know, strip the, what do you call it? The threads when they pull the threads, you know?
Yeah.
So it's too long. I would use it for like your accessories or something, you know, but I wouldn't use it for spark plugs or unless you know what you're doing, you know. But I wouldn't use it for like intake bolts or spark plugs or anything that like is sensitive, you know?
Okay.
Or a lower torque spec or something. You know?
Okay.
I guess I gotta use this.
Yeah.
You got a little stubby extension? Like that big? Yep. It's tight.
That's it?
Yep. You don't want to tighten it too tight.
Cylinder 8 is done. style.
All done.
All right, guys, so this is kind of part two, second part of the video. This all started because of a cylinder 8 misfire and a cylinder 8 bad fouled out spark plug. Come to find out, I have a super leaky valve cover gasket right above the cylinder 8 spark plug. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the valve cover gasket. So I've got that. It comes with a set of two. I don't think I need to. My man Mike was here, so that's Mike from Houston DTF Transfers in the last video. I don't think I'm leaking on this side at all. I mean, I am gonna do all the plugs, and if the plugs look fouled out or oil, like super filled with oil, then I will do this side. But Mike was like, bro, you can just do one side and just be good. Still do all the plugs, but he was like, you can just do one side and you'll be good. And what I'm thinking what happened was, because you also don't want like one side great plugs, the other side, you know, old plugs, because then you could mess with the firing order and cause more issues. So I am just gonna go ahead and do all the plugs all the way around. But Mike, as far as valve cover gaskets, Mike was like, bro, you don't have to do that side if it's good. If you pull all the plugs and they're all good, they look normal, just do the valve cover for one side, because you know that there's a leak over here. But I can do both if I want to. But Mike was able to help me with cylinder 8. There's a bolt back there, way back there, right back there, that's extremely hard to get to. And I actually had to purchase some new tools and some deep sockets and all that other stuff. It's not as easy as people say, including the cylinder 8 spark plug. Mike had to literally lay on top of the motor. He's small, Mike's like 5'5", and he slid on top. Well, he might say 5'7". I'm not trying to play you, Mike. If you're watching this video, I promise you I'm not trying to play you. But he slid, you guys seen it in the last video, go check it out. He slid up here and was able to maneuver his hands to get the bolt out and put the spark plug in there. I couldn't do it. My hand was too big to fit back there, especially even with gloves on. Even without gloves on, my hand was still too big. So he did that. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up the job. It should be super easy. Now that those two bolts back there are out, I'm just gonna zip all these out, pop off all the spark plug wires, and I can actually take it off with the coils. You can take this whole thing off with the coil packs still bolted in, because they're not necessarily needed. All the bolts to get to them are right there. I'll just use some extensions, take it out. You do have to take off that coil, cylinder 8 coil, because it's very hard to get to. But outside of that, you can leave the rest of the coils on. Usually, I'm gonna tell you guys, and then take this off, replace the valve cover, stick that thing back on, take out all the spark plugs, clean everything up, because there's a lot of oil down there. And then she should be good to go after that. I did clean out the throttle body, but I didn't touch the blade. I didn't, as you guys can see, there's little white marks from my printer. I got a DTF printer, and we use these little swabs right here, these ones and these ones, to clean. So I just used some parts cleaner and cleaned out that throttle body, but I didn't move the blade, because if you do that, then you got to mess with the throttle body position and all this other stuff. I just kind of wiped it out a little bit, nothing crazy. Again, I'm not really worried about too much. This truck is a beast. Like, it is such a beast. And again, the guy that I bought it from took great care of it. As you guys can see, this alternator, it's dusty, but it's brand new. Everything on this truck is new, except for these maintenance items. So I'm gonna go ahead, and remove all the rest of the 10mm bolts, get this valve cover off, and then we'll see what we got once we look inside. All right, guys, so great packaging, man. This Icon, Mike recommended Icon tools. I'll put a link in the description down below. This one is, look at the packaging. Mike was like, Carl, you gotta get this one. And it was actually 40% off, because they're still having a Black Friday sale. Today's Monday, Cyber Monday, but they're still having a Black Friday sale on a lot of their parts. They were actually pretty much out of everything. Wow, it even comes with something to clean it. That's crazy. Oh yeah, she's perfect. So it is 7 inches in length, but this thing is so little. That's exactly what I needed to get in on, off. Wow, that's like bootleg snap-on. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm gonna be able to get all in there, because that part back there is super hard. Yeah, this thing's about to get dirty today. Wow, it comes in this nice little case. Yeah, I need to get a toolbox. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start using this, start zipping off all these tins. All right, so we got all the bolts out. Now all I gotta do is, it's actually raining. It's like drizzling a lot, so But all I gotta do is come in here, probably gotta hit it with a hammer to make it a little loose. I got all the bolts out, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hit it with a little mallet hammer. I've seen people do that. Get it loose and then go ahead and take it out. All right, guys, we got it out. We got it out. As you can see right here, if you have ever wondered how to do this, I did have to take the rubber mallet and use that end right there and the hammer on top of this end and then knock it loose, but then that finally knocked it loose. So I'm actually going to take the coils off. I'm gonna clean this up real good like I did the Honda valve covers. Clean this baby up real nice and then replace the gasket and put it back. Looks like that this gasket doesn't look too bad, but as you can see, major oil leaks right there. So starting to rain, I'm gonna close my hood just so I don't get any moisture or too much water in there. Clean up this valve cover real good. Then go ahead and put it back. Replace all the rest of the spark plugs on this side while I got that out. And again, you wanna be very careful. You don't get anything in there. Just go ahead and inspect everything. You know, these are those lifters that can go bad. Clean up this area real good. I got a brand new rag and then kind of put everything back. The biggest thing I was really worried about, but you know, that's what oil filters are for, is these things right there are super dusty. So whenever I was pulling valve cover off, it was like shaking dust everywhere. I tried to blow it off as much as possible, but got it off. So go ahead. I'm actually gonna put the valve cover back and then I'm gonna do the rest of the spark plugs because I don't wanna be reaching my arm in there and potentially reaching over all this stuff. But you can see, I don't have any lifter issues at all, but I do change my oil very frequently, and then I've also switched over to the new Valvoline Restore and Protect. I've been using that thing since it came out last year. I've always used it in my Lexus, using it in my Honda, been using it in this truck, and gonna use it in the Toyota. So that's gonna be it for this. No, that's not gonna be it for this video. I'm about to clean up the gasket once it stops raining here, and then slap this thing back on. All right, so we got it all nice and cleaned up. Look, I can even see the barcode. Cleaned it up real good with some parts cleaner or scrub brush. Made a bootleg parts cleaner bin over there with that box and a plastic tub inside of it. And I do got the Felpro gaskets. It's what I recommend, unless you can get, you know, GM. You can get that too. But Mike recommended these. Said he's done 1,000 of these 5.3, 6.2s, 6.0s Chevy GM motors. Loves them, LS, LT. But what I'm gonna do to additionally, and again, you don't have to do this. This is up to you. 100% up to you, but I will be using some of this for the areas in which it leaked. Right there, I'll be using a little bit. Right here, it leaked. It wanted to leak all at the bottom, and probably even a little bit right here. The reason why I think it leaked the most right here is because these two bolts are way in the back and they're extremely hard to get on. They're super duper hard to get on, like to tighten and everything, and that's what I think. I think whoever did this job, I think it was done before, but I think whoever did it was lazy, never did the spark plug, and damn sure didn't do the valve cover gasket. And if they did a shit job. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, nothing crazy, put the gasket on. It doesn't call for it, but I'm gonna just be a little over. It's not gonna mess with the tolerance. Once that thing is sealed and bolted down, we should have an extra seal. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. It's starting to rain even more, but I do got the valve cover on. Got all the bolts in. That one back there ended up losing a bolt. Luckily, the same bolts that put these in are the same bolts that go into the valve cover. So I got lucky there. Hopefully it doesn't rattle whenever I'm driving. Hopefully one day it falls on the ground somewhere. I'll probably end up getting another one. These are just bracket bolts for the coil packs. It's like no big deal if you're missing one. As long as it's in there and steady, you're good to go. The only thing I gotta do is put the rear coil pack on, plug all the wires up. This side is done. So I pretty much did all the hard part. This shit took hours. It's my hands, I'm getting 6'4", 280. This is for little guys. Mike was able to get in here, knock this thing out super easy. This shit was really hard for me. If you got big hands or you're a big guy, this shit is difficult. Maybe there are some big guys who can get their hands in there, I don't know. Maybe you got little hands but you're a big guy, I don't know. But I got big hands and this shit kicked my ass. So it's late, I'm gonna go inside, but that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm gonna put everything back together. Same thing, I don't need to show you guys the other side, how to do the valve cover. I did the hardest side. Every video that I saw on YouTube, they always do the weak side. Nobody does this side. So I always show you guys what you guys need. these are the tools that I ended up using. I ended up using tape on the end of this with this swivel right here, and then getting back there, tightening it, and then I used this extension to a step down to 3/8 all the way in this too, and extended it, and I had to ratchet way out here, and I was able to, you know, torque it to the best of my ability. So she should be fine. Again, she was leaking from the bottom, so I made sure that bottom one was really tight. And I did put a little gasket stuff down there too, so she should be good. She shouldn't leak anymore. Brand new spark plugs and wires are in. Yeah, so I'm ready to go. Stay tuned for the next video, guys. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. Follow me on TikTok, Carl's Garage too, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everything, and stay tuned for the next video. All right, it's the moment of truth. Yep, I'm gonna give you some instructions because I just want to see it started. Okay, so everything is done. All she has to do is start it. Gotta make sure. Yeah, go ahead. Wow, uneventful. Now it is gonna have to learn. But yeah, perfect. Wow. She's probably feeling a lot better. I'm gonna clear those codes. I am gonna clear those codes like I did last time for that cylinder 8 misfire, but she's fine. You can go ahead and turn her off. I'm gonna change the oil while I'm right here so she don't get too hot, but.
Oh, babe.
Yeah.
You changed the gasket?
Yep.
And it works?
Mm-hmm. Change the valve cover gasket.
And the spark plugs. And the coils.
Yeah, you can smell it. All that burnt oil and stuff like that down there. It was a mess, so. But once it heats up, you want to heat it up. You want it to get to kind of seat the valve cover gasket and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Good job.
It was very tough. Yeah. Knocked it out, so. Yep, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I know I kind of ended it last night, but I actually wanted to end the video with the vehicle running. Now I'm just gonna do regular maintenance stuff, change the oil, and then it's on to that baby right there. I got all the new clips. Let me show you guys a little preview for the next video. This is a whole box of clips. As you can see, there's a bunch of trim pieces falling down in that car. We got the radio. We got a bunch of new pieces in here. Yep, I got the headlights, radio, which is like a 10-inch touchscreen for Chelly. What else? Baby, you know you can't be directly in the sun?
Need the vitamin D.
So put your hands out there, not your face. Put the hoodie on. What else? The clips, the radio.
The oil change.
Yep, I got all the oil over there for the oil change. The bulbs are right there. Headlight bulbs are right there. And I just got to do the valve cover. I got to get the valve cover for the Toyota.
Oh, this is the steering wheel thing?
Yeah, I wanted to wait. Yep,
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, you want me to put them on and then show you, or?
I don't care.
Okay, yep.
But do a video for sure.
Okay, bet. I'll definitely do a video. I'll do a dedicated video to those things because they're pretty cool.
Yeah, those are.
Because there's a huge chunk missing out of the steering wheel. So
bite.
Exactly, it looks just like a bite. So, all right, guys, stay tuned for the next video when we work on the Toyota. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button. Peace.